China. Hello, welcome to the Flamingo Park podcast. I am so happy to be back, and I have the specialist guest that I could ever have or ask for, which is Hakim Awyan from Egypt. Hakim,
Hello, hello, Kenzie. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be with you here today.
and I'm happy to have you here. Um, we will be hosting this upcoming retreat in October 12th to 26th called the Serpent's Path in Egypt. And I wanted to give people a little bit more insight into you, Hakim, and what your background is and kind of the work that you do and the path of the guide, essentially, like how you will be there to guide us through this experience. So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of the background first of sort of the roots and lineage. Hakim, you were born at the base of the Giza Plateau and raised in the oral traditions of Kemet. What was it like growing up immersed in that kind of wisdom?
Uh, in the beginning, you don't see a big difference. I thought it's the norm. Till I figure out my family considered the crazy family of the hood. No, I'm just kidding. Um, it feels free when the way we were raised to look at everything with an open mind.
Mm.
And God bless his soul, my grandfather, Abdul Hakim Awyan, the wisdom keeper, he taught us that not everything you read or you learn it have to be the truth. So it made us relook at everything, history, placement of stuff, labels, and things that we thought stable, but it turned to be not. And it's a good luck blessing, big, big, big blessing.
And as the grandson of Abdel Hakim Awyan, what does it mean to you to carry forward his legacy?
It's a little bit scary, I have to admit that. يعني, in the beginning, after I graduated, I refused lots of work. I was a little worried not to be as good as his,
Ah.
or not worthy enough to carry his this name or to work under this name. And it was a big spiritual realization for me to realize I have to be different to complete his legacy, not to be like him. I can't be like him, but I have to be myself to do so. And but it is scary, still scary till now. يعني when we go to the temples and people recognize me or recognize us because they know him, I feel lucky part, and another part is like it's I it's a big shoe, like a big picture. I grow up next, or scary to compare yourself with someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. But like tell me a bit about your, like your schooling. So where you went to school to become an Egyptologist, right?
Yes, I studied 4 years in a college to become an archaeologist and Egyptologist. I uh, worked for around 10 years in the field uh, with lots of companies, international names, um, and as part of growing into in this family, lots of teachers I have. يعني I worked with my uncle Yusuf Awyan, auntie Shahrazad. I worked with Carmen Volter, God bless her soul, Brian Foster, many big names, and it was very good to see each school and gather from all of this what can make me do the thing I love the most, which is see the people realizing something new or experiencing something, changing changing their awareness of themselves or their awareness of their own world.
Mm.
Uh, it made me understand why are we studying history, because it was a question in my mind for a long time. It's something already happened. Why do I have to study it? And but after time, I realized it's a huge treasure. Yeah. Lots of stuff we can learn.
That's interesting. And what would you say, like, how has your family, like your uncle and all of those teachings, how has that shaped your understanding of ancient Egypt or Kemet, as you call it, beyond what's found in the books?
It made me realize that how little we know
Mm.
and how can the picture be manipulated by those who don't want us to see the truth. So I I saw it as how. One question is how, and another one is why. And most of the people now, even the people who doesn't study what's in the book or have a new way of looking at the history of the world generally, is still stuck in the how. How did they do this? How did they carry that? How did they lift it? But what took my attention is the why. What was the functionality? Why? Um, what is it missing? We don't know now, and how could it be helpful for us?
Mm.
How can I use this to make it something helpful or a helpful method that help the people now, not just realizing something that happened in the past, but how can this help us understanding our reality today?
Which is more
And
useful. More useful. It's the why is like it's useful for us moving forward to understand the why more than the how.
yeah, and it made me understand that the idea we have of all the history is just the last phase of
Mm.
this history, the last picture. It have been changing over God knows how many thousands of years. Uh, and the one we are studying at the moment, or what does exist in the book, is only the last face of it, the last picture. And the holiness of these places is way older and have a totally different story. Um, was created to serve the people for real, not just a shape of a religion was the way that we know today.
So these spaces actually act as a place to serve you in your healing and your path forward. And I know I can speak from my own experience that I
Oh,
felt
yes.
that. The shift that I felt. And it's interesting too when I tell people about the Serpent's Path and this retreat, I say to I've been saying to people, if you're looking for a relaxing retreat, this is not for you. This is not meant to
No,
be a relaxing retreat. This is you want to shake up something inside you and find out more about yourself and your path and your destiny, then this is more for you, you know?
it, you're absolutely right. It's relaxing in the end.
There's little bits of
Yeah, I mean,
relaxing. There's little like peppering of relaxing in there.
yeah, like the quiet before the storm, as they call. But the I think relax or calm as a
Yeah.
result you can reach when you're uh, when you end this inner war. And I believe and I hope for every person with us in the serpent of the path to reach this in the end of. But the purpose of it is to capture and realize a specific emotion without the cage or the lock created by the society for this emotion, and realize how does it feel to be in peace, how does it feel to be in power, How does it feel to be uh, connected to your higher self? And each temple creates the frequency to do so. And when we try the feeling or when we download it, you can recall it anytime and realize it does exist inside of me. But now I know what to ask for. I
Mhm.
know how peace feels like, so I know how to ask for. You know. So yeah, and it could be for some people uncomfortable in a certain temples if they are coming in with this intention.
Mhm.
Because many people come and visit Egypt and welcome, picture, bye bye. Beautiful temple looks good, but if you're moving in, opening up and ready to receive something, monitoring your emotions at the time, you will realize that there is something on a higher scale happening.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving. I still experience flashes and moments of those realizations and those emotions that came up today. Every day. I still it's a gift that just keeps on coming back despite, it being since November that I was there last. So it's a beautiful thing.
It changes some perspectives for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we'll kind of move into the temple work and the sacred spaces. You're known as a temple worker and a stonemason. Can you explain what it means, to work with the temples, rather than just in them?
Uh, Temple worker or work with the temple is to, for me, is to follow the geometrical shape or the path, the right or the accurate path inside each temple, allow me to become a bridge between the vibe that lives into this temple and the people that is visiting at the moment
Mm.
to understand the system of the temple or the algorithm of the temple and translate this to the people. It doesn't have to be words. It can be just an emotion or a certain beat we're walking at, which place to stop in first. And some of these information I took from the family, some came to me by the experience with people. I try here once and here once. But I sure that the temple change depend on the time we are there and it change for each person than the other based on how they receive this frequency. And I didn't know how to put any other label for it, but this is the only one that came to me was temple work. It is to work with the temple and the people at
Mm.
the same time, not just being inside doing my thing. I want to be inside doing the temple's thing. What is the temple want? How this device runs, and the stones carry lots of information, uh, physically and spiritually. Physically, from looking at it and looking at the last placement and the types of the stone, you can understand how old is the temple, how did it used to look like, and a person who work in the stone, easier for him to communicate with this or figure out the point of view of the artist who was working on the spot.
Mm.
And uh, the combination, I think, helped. I don't know exactly how, but it did help. And till the moment, sometime I receive a new information just from the stone. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what happened.
It doesn't sound crazy to me.
Uh, they do keep some of the frequency into
Mhm.
the in all these tones, and the way that you or the person inside interact with these and realize which ones are on a lee line, which ones still in the old spot, the new one, um, can easily harness this natural energy running into the place, reshaped by the ancient, but it does exist in the land before the temple. And I don't know how it got there, but it's there.
That's cool. What would you say, what have the stones and the sacred sites taught you over the years, like both physically and spiritually?
Ooh, a lot. How long is that podcast for? Uh, I have the biggest information or the biggest realization for me was how much we don't know.
Mm,
That was the biggest one.
yeah.
And so this is why I prefer to show to all the people what do I know or what do I experience, but not to lock my theory as the truth of the place.
Mhm,
I like to keep the people see or imagine with an open point of view how they think place was, because um, it is a way to realize, yes, we don't know as much, and definitely, or of course, many people could be right. Um, and a lot I have learned about myself in these temples, more than about the temple. The more you research in the temple, you realize more things about your own, more than the temple. And I thought I learned from especially the Isis temple, the the people communication, the way we communicate as human beings, and how frequency when we are close or in the same place can become one. How many information or feeling can we give and receive from each other without even speaking or touching? Uh, and this is something was very, very hard for me to believe at the beginning, honestly. But it happens with me in every tour. In every tour, I have to, I, I do connect with every single person
mm,
on the tour. And sometimes I would receive a message or uh, feel something that they need to do. And it showed me we were created to communicate. This is one of the big things the temples have taught me as well.
that's beautiful. I love that. Um, let's move into sound and frequency. Because this is a really interesting part. I think I know that I experienced it from you directly. But your toning work, is known to shift people's energy. How did you discover this ability? And, how do you use sound in temple work?
The sound part specifically is the most one I let it go as it. Um my auntie Sharazad used to say is the sound of the temple, not yours.
Okay.
So I start the first one, which is in most of the temples, it's marked on the D, do, to like do, re, mi, fa, sol. The first one, the highest one. And after that, I just let go.
Okay.
And the sound of my voice coming back to me as an echo is what identify the second note I will play,
Oh, that's cool.
because it's different in every time.
Because as you were saying earlier, every time you visit, things shift, the energy shifts, the energy is different. That makes sense.
And frequency change based on the people
It's also,
who's in the spot with us. So if the temple were built, for example, to generate, let's say, 360 frequency or 300 frequency,
Yeah.
and the person we have 60, then it's 360. When
Mm.
I tone a D, it will hit a specific chord and then it come back based on the frequency of the place and the person. And both identify the next coming sound from me. So as I hear it, I can bring it out. And then I hear a new one and I bring it out. Hear a new one and bring it out.
Oh my God.
That's the sound of the temple, not me.
That's so cool.
It's my favorite part.
Is it your
That's
favorite
my
part?
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's my favorite
oh,
part. It's the best game ever. The best game ever.
that's
And sometimes um, I feel a call of another person in the room to help me. And and some of the tools, we people start to uh, do the same thing I do, and they don't know how they are doing it.
wow.
So their voice start to change while they're toning, and they don't know what's going on. It's a small luck. As soon as you let go, then you don't know where is the sound is coming from.
That is so cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
And so what role then did sound and vibration play in the spiritual technology of Kemet?
Ooh, many. Um, my grandfather used to believe that the ancient did use the sound for human or healing purposes on a spiritual or a physical level and in industrial level as well. There is a device that still in the Egyptian museum, old Egyptian museum, that we believe it was used to create a specific sound that uh, less or control the gravity around, and it's one of the ways to lift the stone up. This is one of his theories that the ancients was able to build the space of like an anti-gravity field, and by that idea they can carry and build anything they want. And this device still exists in the Egyptian museum. Uh, the archaeologists name it as a lotus vase. It's made out of basalt,
A
but
lotus.
vase or vase.
Oh, lotus vase. Yeah, lotus
Yeah,
vase. Okay.
but
Okay.
it's empty from inside. It can't take any flowers. It can't take any. It have an empty core to be attached and spinning. It looks like a fan.
And it spins?
It it made to spin.
It's made to
It
spin.
was made to spin. I will send you some pictures if you wanna post.
Very cool.
Uh, but what is written that the sound or the musical sound was used for more than one purpose, healing wise and physically healing or spiritually. So the ancient had songs or ritual songs for joy, for sadness, for illness, uh, or others to communicate or come closer to specific letters or what we call gods. Um, some of the places is built and meant for this, like the one we went in Saqqara.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is made for Hathor to give those chantings or singing to Hathor. The and many of the tribes in Egypt still using these techniques till today, drumming and sound to release their pain or anger or release blockages into their flow, many. And from these guys' traditions, we used to reverse engineer it to realize how did it start, was the ancient. So if the people does it today this way, then the ancient used to
Mhm.
use it for this. So we used to follow those traditions back so we can figure out some of the stuff that is not written because it's still alive between the people as well.
Or maybe it was written, but it was destroyed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The older stuff or the more precious stuff was not written, was
Before there was even written, like
before
writing
writing.
communication.
Was oral tradition.
Oh.
And my grandfather say that it was written down to be forgotten.
Yeah.
If it's in the book and I want to give it to my son, here is the book, and I go. But if it's not in the book, I have to tell it for you,
Mm, mhm,
and then you will know it by mind and heart,
mhm.
not just the book. When it was like that, it was a method, not knowledge, something that the people does daily. This is how their life goes. And then it starts to change step by step. And uh, the places we have in the tour, in the retreat, all are filled with evidence of how did these shifts keep taking places and how did the ancient knowledge transform from functional knowledge into a religion with the way that we understand today, the control one.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was knowledge became religion, but all the temples, especially the one we picked together, is filled with these evidence to show.
That is so cool. I love that. That is it is amazing. So like the path of the guide, you've been guiding international travelers for over a decade now. How do you balance the education, initiation, and transformation of all of this?
Uh, we our target all the time is to make the people always comfortable
Hmm.
and make sure that we avoid the stuff that can waste
Yeah.
the precious time.
Yeah.
And it is always depends on the people on the group. Um, it, as we said, we have to build a certain communication and a frequency link. So education has enough, virtual has enough, rest when it's needed. يعني, you can say it can be custom made to the people, and it happened 80% of the time. They could have different needs, and they all feel satisfied in the end. Have to be, uh, because again, it is not a touristical retreat. We work on people one on one, and we receive questions. We search for answers for them, not for the public, not for something that can match everybody. It's something that meant for each person to receive it by his own.
Mm.
Maybe we are all in the same spot, but we are not all having the same experience.
That's right. I'm curious about a little bit more about the wisdom of Kemet and would you be able to help us understand, the difference between Egyptology and chematology, like, and why
Okay,
that difference matters?
okay. It's a funny story. So chematology is a term that my grandfather created. This is the name of his school, chematology. So now, of course, it's a term and lots of people use it. But when he was a tour guide, an official archaeologist, and an Egyptologist, and when he started to speak, that's 70s. I'm talking. at his time يعني. He started to speak how is the pyramids are not tombs, or how much did the ancients know, and the colleagues and his teachers and his, they said like, this is madness what you're talking about, this is crazy, it can't be. And he showed, okay, this is a proof, one, two, three, look at this, look at that, look at this, explain that. And they said, we don't know what you're talking about, this is not, this is not Egyptology,
Mhm.
you can't, you can't teach that. And I said, okay, it's not Egyptology, it's chematology. So
Which is the name,
Kemet is the
the original
of
name
all of Egypt.
of Egypt.
So the Kemet means the black land,
Okay.
uh, and here the black land means the land with the fertilized soil, the black land, referring to the silt. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Kemet is the older name, so his the name we use today, Egypt or Masr. This is how we call it in Arabic. Both the names are not Egyptian. One is Latin, the other one is Arabian. The Egyptian name is Kemet. So I said, okay, you take Egyptology, you take math, mine is chematology, the original or the oldest one. And till now, people use the term for the this point of view about the history generally, or about the Egyptian history, the older point of view or this point of view, they call it chematology.
That
Uh, so
incredible.
yeah, you can't be, you have to come to the chemist school to be certificate as a chematologist.
So
Uh, yeah,
what's then, so what would you say then is one ancient teaching or truth from Kemet that you feel the modern world most needs to remember?
how powerful we are as a human being. How much can we do? Uh, how much can our awareness become? Or, or how much are we now يعني, closed? Not as minds or souls, but just as the way we think.
Mm.
Uh, we believe human have 360 senses different than each other.
360 senses?
Sense that each one that we know of have 360 degrees.
Okay.
We are using only 30, which is the physical one. But when you see someone in a dream, you have to use the term see someone in a dream, but your eyes was technically closed. So this is part of the of vision, but in a different way. All the other senses are the same: feeling, thinking of someone.
Mhm.
Uh, all of this, the ancient was aware of it, big time, and they have lived to learn how to use these senses in them and how to communicate more with nature to embody more of its own power, nature's power. And I think this is one of the main reasons uh, for me, make me love this field, is uh, feeling I am one of the people, if I can say that, uh, that's trying to push this awareness more to more people, yeah,
Mm.
so they can look into themselves and realize how much powerful they are generally.
And so do you kind of see yourself then as this sort of bridge between worlds, like ancient and modern, east and west, and seen and unseen?
Yeah, I would love to think so.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, you can call it, yes, a bridge
a bridge.
between between this one and that, and um, till as far as we can approach,
Yeah.
but there's still more, and you will be surprised how how much people can be new into this newer side that they are entering, but what they are carrying of experience does fit into this spot, even if it's first time for them or the first time for them to experience something like that, but they thrive a lot faster
Yeah.
than others, just
Yeah.
by the journey or the wisdom that they're carrying through their journey. Um, yeah, it's sensitive to be this bridge because you're holding the people's space during a very very sensitive time.
Hmm.
Uh, my most important lesson I have took is to, no matter what is the person's idea or feeling, uh, it is something holy at this moment, how sensitive they are.
Hmm.
And uh, I'm so happy to say that I am good dealing with these fragile moments, knowing that this is what the people need at the time is fragile treatment, if I can say.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can attest to that, having witnessed you do that so gracefully and so well, not just with myself, but witnessing it in the group of others as well. Yeah, it's something really special, I think, for me to witness that, of you holding that for people. So,
It have a feeling to it, like as if this is what or this is what I'm meant to be doing.
hmm. Hmm.
Uh, so if my grandfather can be wisdom keeper, I think I can be a gatekeeper. I I I love to see the people comfortable, unjudged, and having this holy space of clarity and protection that allow them to be whoever they are in this holy spot.
Yeah.
And when they release this outside of them, it's beautiful seeing them looking at it. It's really beautiful.
So then in closing, if your grandfather was here now, what do you think that he would say about the way Egypt is awakening in the hearts of people all around the world?
I think he would say, "Yaqini, yaqin." That is his prayer. Yeah,
Yakini, yakini.
yaqini, yaqini, yaqin. Yaqini is my belief, and yaqini, the second one means protect. So I am protected by my belief or protected by my positivity. And that was one of his famous messages. Yaqini, yaqin.
The light
Uh,
surrounds me. The light moves
that
through me. I
me
am the
and
light.
am the light. This is so be it. This is his. This is his.
Mic
This is
drop.
his. This is his. Um, it's also one of the powerful prayers. I use it every day.
I use it
Uh,
too. I used it too after learning from
the,
you.
the words are powerful and you feel it.
They are. Hmm. Very
Uh,
beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm so grateful and I'm excited for people to watch this and learn more about you and learn more about what they can experience. And I think this is a great way for people to understand not just you, but Egypt better. So thank you.
Hope to see you all safe and if you feeling ready for the for the journey, I would love to see you here in the